Uno, dos, tres, cuatro y estamos grabando desde París. 5 a.m. Service at Wellness Club está contigo, así que vamos de inmediato a compartir nuestro silencio. Son las 5 en Estados Unidos, en Nueva York, en la Florida. Y además son las morning everybody and we're gonna do it together. So I will do the silent good morning and uh, Dr. Sele will do the affirmation
I'll do the visualization.
and you're gonna do visualization. We're gonna start right away. So we're gonna go to the application, Miracle Morning, and let's start with silence. 473 today we are streaming live on YouTube and silence. Let me see if I can get something new that we can comment on before. Just sitting.
Buongiorno, buongiorno.
You're not breathing with wind. Sin inspire. So that's one. Natural relationship, spiritual peace, meditation, empower growth, making a difference. Right. So empower growth. Let's go with this. So today we are doing it together. I will do silence. Dr. C will do affirmations, and Steve will do visualizations. And let's start with nice silence. Release self-doubt and limiting belief, and get ready to become the best versions of yourself, embracing your journey of personal growth. Silence.
Well, you got to share the screen, and I just realized you made me host.
Oh,
Uh,
give that back to me, man.
I don't know how bad do you want it?
I don't know. It depends how much you want to do it.
While I was saying that, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make some co-hosts while I'm at it. All right, change host. There you go.
Okay, so I will make you co-host then.
Thank you.
A co-host, and then Margin, and then Steve co-host. All right. So let me go share the screen. All right. Do you hear it now?
Yes, we are
Find a
good.
comfortable place to sit. Roll your shoulders back so the heart is open. And close your eyes. Settling into a relaxed, strong posture. Start by focusing on your breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Releasing any tension or stress you may be carrying. Feeling your body relaxing, your mind becoming clear. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. With each inhale, imagine you are drawing the energy of personal growth and self-improvement, drawing it in. Feel this energy filling your being, awakening your potential and creativity. With each exhale, release any self-doubt, limiting beliefs, or past regrets that may be holding you back. Let go of any thoughts that no longer serve your personal growth journey. Continue to breathe in this way, drawing in the energy of personal growth and letting go of self-limiting thoughts. With each breath, you're becoming more and more ready to embrace your personal journey and become the best version of yourself. So take a few more cycles of breath to focus on your connection to your own growth and your intention to develop and evolve. With a smile, bring your awareness back to your current surroundings. Remembering that this is another step on your journey of personal growth. And you can come back here anytime you wish.
Perfect. So this is silence. We're doing it together. And welcome everybody. I feel we have a full house today. So let me start my share. We have 9 people today. So that's very nice. We have with us Dr. Z is with us. Back Gregory is here. Dr. Z, his twin, Steve. Catano is here. Candido, Henry, and Marta. All right, so let's do it together, and we go, Steve. So you go into affirmation.
I can do affirmation.
No, I'm sorry. Dr. Z will do affirmation.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry, didn't realize I was on mute. Feel free to join along. am screen sharing so that you can see and follow. My name is Machin Zelik, Dr. Z, and welcome to Affirmations on September 4th, 2025. Start off by taking a deep breath in and letting it out. The focus here is to make sure your affirmations penetrate through your mind and your heart so that you know and believe and value everything that you say, and it reverberates so that you can feel it through your bones. We're going to go through each one twice right away, and we've only got 5. I grow daily through discipline, reflection, and grace. I grow daily through discipline, reflection, and grace. I am becoming stronger with every small decision. I am becoming stronger with every small decision. My past refines me, it does not define me. My past refines me, it does not define me. I choose progress over perfection every single time. I choose progress over perfection every single time. I embrace discomfort. It's where growth begins within. I embrace discomfort. It's where growth begins within. Remember, you repeat positive things to yourself out loud in a mirror. Doesn't matter. Make sure they are all good things. Words hold power. It's even in the Bible. So make sure you're building growth and not tearing down. Thank you for joining me for Savor's affirmations today.
Right. Steve.
All right. Go to share. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. We will be moving into visualization.
Good morning.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to this 2-minute meditation. Just sit back, relax, and if you are able to, close your eyes. Allow your breath to find a comfortable rhythm. And just keep focusing on your breath as your body begins to relax. Visualize what it would be like to have your dreams come true. Imagine what it would feel like to live the life you dream about. Just keep visualizing and imagining what it feels like to have your dreams come true. Now wiggle your toes and fingers, and whenever you are ready, gently open your eyes and return from the meditation. My name is Suleiman, and I am grateful that you tuned in. Peace, love, and meditate. Thank you, and namaste.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
guys. That was the 2 minute meditation by Suleiman. Let me stop share and relinquish the power.
Nice. Let's do exercise. Thank you, Steve, Dr. C. And let's get the screen back. And let's go to the miracle morning and we did affirmation, visualization. And let's go for an exercise. So we're gonna get make bold move. We're gonna do 2 minutes, 27. Then we need a volunteer for the question for scribing. So think about who's gonna do the question of today.
I'll do that.
We're gonna get Victor Catano, and then let's go. Make bold moves. Get ready to move your body, heart and mind. Nothing can stop you, right?
Let's move our bodies, hearts, and minds together. My name is Lucy Osborne, and we're about to do exercise with affirmations. So if you're not standing already, stand up,
Stand up.
get ready to move,
Stand up.
and mentally affirm. I make bold moves towards my dreams each day. I
make bold moves.
refuse to give up and know that nothing can stop me. Knees up. So we're doing high knees.
High knees.
Up, up,
Up,
up,
up.
up, left, right, left, right.
High knees.
Knees up in front of your body. Like you're jumping over something. You need to get that leg really high. Knee up,
Up, up, up, up.
Feel your heart start to beat faster. Your breath is quickening.
Up,
You're
up.
awakening. Heart, body, and mind. Yes. Cool it down and come
Okay.
down to a light march.
Go. Light march.
We're going to go back into those high knees, and this time we're going to layer on affirmations, taking this from purely physical to totally holistic, mental, spiritual, emotional, along with the physical.
March, march.
So get ready. We're going to go back into those high knees,
1 minute left.
and then you're going to repeat after me. Are you ready? Here we go.
March.
I make bold moves.
I make bold moves.
I refuse to give up.
I refuse to give up.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop me.
I know what I'm made of.
I know what I'm made of.
I make bold moves.
I make bold moves.
I refuse to give up.
I refuse to give up.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop me.
I know what I'm made of.
I know what I'm made of.
Good job.
All right.
You can go on to complete your savers, or maybe affirmations or exercise is all you needed to finish. Either way, you're doing a great job.
All right. So exercise is done. All right. So we do exercise and scribing. Coming right now. Get your a journal to scribe it.
Morning, everyone. Today we're gonna do a different kind of scribing. We just pulled in a lot of really good energy with our affirmations and with our visualization, and all of us are believing in something and trying to receive something. We show up here every day, not just to look pretty. We show up here because we're working hard on ourselves. And some of us show up to prayer and we're believing in things. And I believe with all my heart that we've been doing this long enough. We've been praying this long enough to harvest. And so this is what I want to do today. We are going to check back in a month from today. Today is September 4th, and we're going to do it again October 4th. So today, I want you to write down and share what is the one thing that you are standing in faith for. What is the one thing that right now you are standing in full faith and you just, maybe you've been waiting for a long time. And I know for me, I've been standing in faith for the right revenue streams. Maybe some of us are standing in faith for health results. Maybe, Dr. Pina has been working hard on his Congress and and his organizations and his dreams. What is that thing that you're standing in faith for? And we're going to treat this like we've all had that class where when we were about to graduate, they told us to bury something in a pot and we buried it in the ground. And some of us have had the opportunity to go back a year later to, 25 years later to see what we buried in that pot, right? Well, we're not going to wait that long. We're only going to wait a month. What is that one thing that you're standing in faith for? And by now, you should have already been thinking about it. So take just 2 more minutes to do that. What is that one thing that you're going to bury in that virtual pot, saying, when I look a month from now, it's going to be there?
Can you write down the question, please?
Algo que tiene fe que va a tener. Eso es todo. Y nos vamos a visualizar y vamos a chequear en un mes a ver en qué está esa visualización. ¿Entendió?
Yeah.
1 minute. $30 seconds. Okay, we should be landing the plane. This shouldn't have been a hard exercise. We're all believing in something. So I'm going to stand here now like the teacher giving instructions as to how we're going to put our things into this pod, right? The most important thing that I want you to do, I don't want you to just read your statement. When you're reading your statement, because remember, this is a reading exercise, not a talking exercise. When you're reading it, I want you to see yourself putting something into a box, right? Because faith is believing that you have something before you can see, feel, or hear it, or before any of the sensories kick in, right? You have it, right? So I want us to deposit these thoughts into this box with that spirit. I'm going to go first. I'm going to have vastly improved and significant income streams. And I'm going to call it as I see it. And down the list, I see Candido.
Okay, me?
Yes.
Yes, what I see in a month is that I gonna have my health all over 100% because I have gastritis and some kystes in the kidneys, and I am in treatment for this. And I hope in a month I gonna be all out of this situation.
Receive, my brother. Receive, my brother. All right. Steve.
Yes, sir. Good morning. One thing I am standing in faith for is that doctors will find a cure for multiple sclerosis. My wife has been battling with this disease since 2009. It was tough at first, but with the changes in modern medicine and her lifestyle, she is able to maintain. She is able to maintain it, but she still has her moments to remind her that the disease is still present.
We stand in belief and in full faith with you, brother. Receive that healing. Receive that healing. Receive it. Marcin.
Good morning. My box is going to take a little bit longer to brew, but a happy, healthy baby will be what comes out of that box. Metaphorically, of course.
I see it and I believe it and I know it. Receive, brother. Receive.
Amen.
Dr. Piña. You are muted.
Okay, 90 paying attendance for the participants in Madrid, October 10, 11, 12, 2025 in Casa Castilla-La Mancha. For the first time after fourth Global Meta Poetry has been done in Madrid. At $97 each, we have sold only 7 entries of those 90, pending 83 as of today. So I think we have 38 days left. So I'm counting, putting together a complete marketing program from now on.
You are quite the planner. You are a brilliant man. And receive the fruits of your labor.
Thank you.
Greg.
Great morning, champions. I'm standing in faith for complete financial freedom. I believe God is opening doors for increase, wisdom, and stewardship so I can live debt-free, bless others, and walk in abundance. I'm trusting Him in order for my steps to provide everything I need in this season, 2025.
Amen, brother. I stand in agreement with you. You know that we're holding hands, walking this walk together, brother. Receive. Henry.
Yes, good morning. I am standing in faith and creating my desired reality, seeing progress in my habits and steps every day to financial freedom, and investing, brokerage, Roth IRA, and starting a business.
Amen. Receive, brother. You know, you are the one person that when you don't come to Savers for a few days, I know that you're like that lion that has left the prey, that has left the pack to start their own pack. And I know that you're out there doing good things. You're not just lost. You're exploring the world. You're seeing things. Receive, brother. Receive the fruits of your labor, brother. Let's see. That's Marcin's twin, so we won't call on him unless he's having twins. Do you want to tell us about that other baby that's coming too?
The other brother is the better looking one.
Maldita.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Everything coming in the high and best way. In 1 month, I will be in the crucero. It's my first time in the crucero. I visualize it. I am there next month. and the beginning to the month, the day to day, like today, October 4.
Well, we want to see a picture on October 4th. We want to
Yeah.
see we want to see you on that cruise. Show us all that ocean water or an island. I'm going to start visualizing what that's going to look like for you to receive, my sister, receive.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
I'm just going to end with just, we're going to close the box now, right? I want to remind you that faith is receiving in a way where you already have it. It is done, right? Don't be a person that is in a prison cell and the prison is wide open and you're sitting there waiting for somebody to free you. You are free. You have your healing. You have your plans have come to fruition. You have your financial blessing. You have your trip. You have all of those things. And they're going to be, when we open that box again, we're gonna either have them or we're gonna see clear plans for how we're going to have them. It is coming. So receive, everybody. Receive. Just take 30 seconds to watch that box close and to watch it go under the ground until we dig it up again and be prepared to receive. Take the 30 seconds now. That feels good. I have it.
Happy.
That feels good. 5 more seconds. Give yourself a hug, and we will be done. And that completes our savers, and I think we have a clear pathway to the book.
All right, so I think we have a new law today. So let me go check it out. So we're gonna use the book from this guy.
So at last the Athenians banished him. They made use of the ostracism to humble his great reputation and his authority, as indeed was their habit with any whose power they regarded as oppressive, or who had risen to an eminence which they considered out of keeping with the equality of a democracy. The 43rd law. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Judgment. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others, and they will grow to hate you. Transgression of the law. Near the end of the reign of Louis XV, all of France seemed desperate for change. When the king's grandson and chosen successor, the future Louis XVI, married a 15-year-old daughter of the Empress of Austria, the French caught a glimpse of the future that seemed hopeful. The young bride, Marie Antoinette, was beautiful and full of life. She instantly changed the mood of the court, which was rank with Louis XV's debaucheries. Even the common people who had yet to see her talked excitedly of Marie Antoinette. The French had grown disgusted with the series of mistresses who had dominated Louis XV, and they looked forward to serving their new queen. In 1773, when Marie Antoinette publicly rode through the streets of Paris for the first time, applauding crowds swarmed around her carriage. "How fortunate," she wrote her mother, "to be in a position where one can gain widespread affection at so little cost." In 1774, Louis XV died, and Louis XVI took the throne. As soon as Marie Antoinette became queen, she abandoned herself to the pleasures she loved the most, ordering and wearing the most expensive gowns and jewelry in the realm, sporting the most elaborate hair in history, her sculpted coiffures rising as much as 3 feet above her head, and throwing a constant succession of masked balls and fêtes. All of these whims she paid for on credit, never concerning herself with the cost or who paid the bills. Marie Antoinette's greatest pleasure was the creation and designing of a private Garden of Eden at the Petit Trianon, a chateau on the grounds of Versailles with its own woods. The gardens at the Petit Trianon were to be as natural as possible, including moss applied by hand to the trees and rocks. To heighten the pastoral effect, the Queen employed peasant milkmaids to milk the finest-looking cows in the realm. Launderers and cheesemakers in special peasant outfits she helped design. Shepherds to tend sheep with silk ribbons around their necks. When she inspected the barns, she would watch her milkmaids squeezing milk into porcelain vases made at the Royal Ceramic Works. To pass the time, Marie Antoinette would gather flowers in the woods around the Petit Trianon, or watch her good peasants doing their chores. The place became a separate world, its community limited to her chosen favorites. With each new whim, the cost of maintaining the Petit Trianon soared. Meanwhile, France itself was deteriorating. There was famine and widespread discontent. Even socially insulated courtiers seethed with resentment. The Queen treated them like children. Only her favorites mattered, and these were becoming fewer and fewer. But Marie Antoinette didn't concern herself with this. Not once throughout her reign did she read her minister's report. Not once did she tour the provinces and rally the people to her side. Not once did she mingle among the Parisians or receive a delegation from them. She did none of these things because as queen she felt the people owed her their affection, and she was not required to love them in return. In 1784, the Queen became embroiled in a scandal. As part of an elaborate swindle, the most expensive diamond necklace in Europe had been purchased under her name. And during the swindler's trial, her lavish lifestyle became public. People heard about the money she spent on jewels and dresses and masked dances. They gave her the nickname Madame Deficit, and from then on she became the focus of the people's growing resentment. When she appeared in her box at the opera, the audience greeted her with hisses. Even the court turned against her. For while she had been running up her huge expenditures, the country was headed for ruin. 5 years later, in 1789, an unprecedented event took place, the beginning of the French Revolution. The Queen didn't worry. Let the people have their little rebellion, she seemed to think. It would soon quiet down, and she'd be able to resume her life of pleasure. That year, the people marched on Versailles, forcing the royal family to quit the palace and take residence in Paris. This was a triumph for the rebels, but it offered the Queen an opportunity to heal the wounds she had opened and establish contact with the people. The Queen, however, had not learned her lesson. Not once would she leave the palace during her stay in Paris. Her subjects could rot in hell for all she cared. In 1792, the royal couple was moved from the palace to a prison, as the Revolution officially declared the end of the monarchy. The following year, Louis XVI was tried, found guilty, and guillotined. As Marie Antoinette awaited the same fate, hardly a soul came to her defense. Not one of her former friends in the court, not one of Europe's other monarchs, who, as members of their own country's royal families, had all the reason in the world to show that revolution didn't pay. Not even her own family in Austria, including her brother, who now sat on the throne. She had become the world's pariah. In October of 1793, she finally knelt at the guillotine, unrepentant and defiant to the bitter end. Interpretation. From early on, Marie Antoinette acquired the most dangerous of attitudes. As a young princess in Austria, she was endlessly flattered and cajoled. As the future queen of the French court, she was the center of everyone's attention. She never learned to charm or please other people, to become attuned to their individual psychologies. She never had to work to get her way, to use calculation or cunning or the arts of persuasion. Like everyone who was indulged from an early age, she evolved into a monster of insensitivity. Marie Antoinette became the focus of an entire country's dissatisfaction because it is so infuriating to meet with a person who makes no effort to seduce you or attempt to persuade you, even if only for the purpose of deception. And do not imagine that she represents a bygone era, or that she is even rare. Her type is today more common than ever. Such types live in their own bubble. They seem to feel they are born kings and queens, and that attention is owed them. They do not consider anyone else's nature, but bulldoze over people with the self-righteous arrogance of a Marie Antoinette. Pampered and indulged as children, as adults they still believe that everything must come to them. Convinced of their own charm, they make no effort to charm, seduce, or gently persuade. In the realm of power, such attitudes are disastrous. At all times you must attend to those around you, gauging their particular psychology, tailoring your words to what you know will entice and seduce them. This requires energy and art. The higher your station, the greater the need to remain attuned to the hearts and minds of those below you, creating a base of support to maintain you at the pinnacle. Without that base, your power will teeter, and at the slightest change of fortune, those below will gladly assist in your fall from grace. Observance of the law. In 225 A.D., Zhuge Liang, master strategist and chief minister to the ruler of Shu in ancient China, confronted a dangerous situation. The kingdom of Wei had mounted an all-out attack on Shu from the north. More dangerous still, Wei had formed an alliance with the barbarous states to the south of Shu, led by King Mengwo. Zhuge Liang had to deal with this second menace from the south before he could hope to fend off Wei in the north. As Zhuge Liang prepared to advance south against the barbarians, a wise man in his camp offered him advice. It would be impossible, this man said, to pacify the region by force. Liang would probably beat Mengwo, but as soon as he headed north again to deal with Wei, Mengwo would reinvade. "It is better to win hearts," said the wise man, "than cities. Better to battle with hearts than with weapons. I hope you will succeed in winning the hearts of these people." "You read my thoughts," responded Zhuge Liang. As Liang expected, Mengwo launched a powerful attack. But Liang laid a trap and managed to capture a large part of Mengwo's army, including the king himself. Instead of punishing or executing his prisoners, however, he separated the soldiers from their king, had their shackles removed, regaled them with food and wine, and then addressed them. "You are all upright men," he said. "I believe you all have parents, wives, and children waiting for you at home. They are doubtless shedding bitter tears at your fate. I am going to release you, so that you can return home to your loved ones and comfort them." The men thanked Liang with tears in their eyes. Then he sent for Mengwo. "If I release you," asked Liang, "what will you do?" "I will pull my army together again," answered the king, "and lead it against you to a decisive battle. But if you capture me a second time, I will bow to your superiority." Not only did Liang order Mengwo released, he gave him a gift of a horse and saddle. When angry lieutenants wondered why he did this, Liang told them, "I can capture that man as easily as I can take something out of my pocket. I am trying to win his heart. When I do, peace will come of itself here in the south." As Mengwo had said he would, he attacked again. But his own officers, whom Liang had treated so well, rebelled against him, captured him, and turned him over to Liang, who asked him again the same question as before. Mengwo replied that he had not been beaten fairly, but merely betrayed by his own officers. He would fight again, but if captured a third time, he would bow to Liang's superiority. Over the following months, Liang outwitted Mengwo again and again, capturing him a third, a fourth, and a fifth time. On each occasion, Mengwo's troops grew more dissatisfied. Liang had treated them with respect. They had lost their heart for fighting. But every time Zhuge Liang asked Mengwo to yield, the great king would come up with another excuse. "You tricked me. I lost through bad luck," and on and on. "If you capture me again," he would promise, "I swear I will not betray you." And so Liang would let him go. When he captured Mengwo for the sixth time, he asked the king the same question again. "If you capture me a seventh time," the king replied, "I shall give you my loyalty and never rebel again." "Very well," said Liang, "but if I capture you again, I will not release you." Now Mengwo and his soldiers fled to a far corner of their kingdom, the region of Wuge. Defeated so many times, Mengwo had only one hope left. He would ask the help of King Wutugu of Wuge, who had an immense and ferocious army. Wutugu's warriors wore an armor of tightly woven vines, soaked in oil, and then dried to an impenetrable hardness. With Mengwo at his side, Wutugu marched this mighty army against Liang. And this time the great strategist seemed frightened, leading his men in a hurried retreat. But he was merely leading Wutugu into a trap. He cornered the king's men in a narrow valley, then lit fires set all around them. When the fires reached the soldiers, Wutugu's whole army burst into flame, the oil in their armor, of course, being highly flammable. All of them perished. Liang had managed to separate Mengwo and his entourage from the carnage in the valley, and the king found himself a captive for the 7th time. After this slaughter, Liang could not bear to face his prisoner again. He sent a messenger to the captured king. "He has commissioned me to release you. Mobilize another army against him if you can, and try once more to defeat him." Sobbing, the king fell to the ground, crawled to Liang on his hands and knees, and prostrated himself at his feet. "Oh, great minister," cried Mengwo, "yours is the majesty of heaven. We men of the south will never again offer resistance to your rule." "Do you now yield?" asked Liang. "Aye, my sons and my grandsons are deeply moved by your honor's boundless, life-giving mercy. How could we not yield?" Liang honored Mengwo with a great banquet, re-established him on the throne, restored his conquered lands to his rule, then returned north with his army, leaving no occupying force. Liang never came back. He had no need to. Mengwo had become his most devoted and unshakable ally. Interpretation. Zhuge Liang had two options: try to defeat the barbarians in the south with one crushing blow, or patiently and slowly win them to his side over time. Most people more powerful than their enemy grab the first option and never consider the second. But the truly powerful think far ahead. The first option may be quick and easy, but over time it brews ugly emotions in the hearts of the vanquished. The resentment turns to hatred. Such animosity keeps you on edge. You spend your energy protecting what you have gained, growing paranoid and defensive. The second option, though more difficult, not only brings you peace of mind, it converts a potential enemy into a pillar of support. In all your encounters, take a step back. Take the time to calculate and attune yourself to your target's emotional makeup and psychological weaknesses. Force will only strengthen their resistance. With most people, the heart is the key. They are like children, ruled by their emotions. To soften them up, alternate harshness with mercy. Play on their basic fears and also their loves, freedom, family, etc. Once you break them down, you will have a lifelong friend and fiercely loyal ally. Keys to power.
Right, let's tap it in key to power.
In the game of power, you are surrounded by people who have absolutely no reason to help you.
Okay, key to power. Let's go back to 30 seconds. And then let's take some reading time. And reading is done. Course 73. Today's take, streaming from Paris. And let's go to reading. Let's take 10 minutes right now.
Yeah, Law 43 really jumped into it. There's go back to it. It states that work on the hearts and minds of others. The principle states that true lasting power is built not through coercion, but by winning people over emotionally and psychologically. And we saw this in a great example with Leon and Monjo. Probably didn't say that right. He captured this king over 7 times, and he made an excuse each time up until to let him go up until he just finally gave in. We see that Leon was kind to his soldiers by releasing the shackles on them and feeding them and pretty much taking care of them, looking out for them, and showing compassion. And he was able to win over his troops to the point where Leon's troops captured him and turned him over. He even resorted to enlisting the help of another king to help him, and they led them into a trap, and that was the seventh time, and he sent the messenger to tell them, even though he said he wouldn't release him, he said, tell him that he's free to go, but instead of going, he stayed and became an ally of Leon. So that's a great example of this law. You know, he Leon appealed to the self-interest of the soldiers and finally to the self-interest of the other king. In retrospect, we also saw an example of the consequences of ignoring Law 43. This was done with the example of Marie Antoinette. She grew up spoiled and she believed people owed her affection and without any effort on her part. This indifference, the public, this was an indifference to like public hardship. So, and I say that because while the French economy deteriorated, she lived lavishly and she never made an effort to connect with the public. So, that ultimately led to her downfall. When the revolution began, she really underestimated its power and she never communicated with her subjects. And ultimately, she went to her death. She remained indifferent till the end. So we just have some people, and we know many people like this. What this would, lack of better words, we call stubbornness. We know pretty stubborn, a lot of stubborn people in life. So she held on to this indifference and until her demise and her downfall. So very very interesting law right here.
Wonderful. Great summary, Steve. Great summary.
Thank you, Dr. King. I've been taking notes from you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a tough act to follow, but I'll give it a try. This in summary of what amazing Stephen said. You win people's heart and their mind, and they'll follow you willingly. So it's about persuasion, charm. Make people think their ideas are your ideas. So I'll give this the abbreviated version. You can kick it back.
Yeah, not much left to say. Thanks, Steve, for doing too good of a job.
You're welcome.
But I appreciated this one because it was a little bit on the milder side because it felt like a lot of it was aggressive towards other people. This one was kind of, show other people mercy, their value, win them to your side. And I feel like this is a great rule for management where if you take care of your people, they will take care of you. So this one kind of transcends the destroy your enemies vibe that I've gotten throughout most of this book, and really something I can settle down with.
I think what happened here goes hand in hand with the vibe of my favorite saying, which is that when I'm losing, I'm just starting to win. Right. it might have looked to everyone like the gracious king was losing because he kept like giving chances to freeing um, uh, the other king who just wouldn't bow down to him. But all along, he was just starting to win, and ultimately he did. And through humility and grace at that.
Um, yeah, I find it interesting with Marie because it's really showing care and empathy, right? And that seems to be the way that we obtain the hearts, right, and the mind of others. And I can't help to connect it with Law 15, right? And Law 15 is crush your enemy totally, right? And there seems to be a connection regarding, strike hard when the opponent is too dangerous to leave standing, right? Where you want to literally destroy the enemy completely. And then 43, Law 43, it's really more of redirecting that energy to turn opposition into fuel, right? So giving them mercy, right? So it's like that balance in the center. But the biggest takeaway for me is that to show that empathy and show that we care, right? To have followers that want to be there. So little things like even knowing people's names when you say it, right? Help people feel seen and figure out who they are, what they want, what's their why. And yeah, those are all seems to be strategies to get into their mind and hearts.
We have 1 minute 44 seconds to this law. Candido?
Yes, what I can have from that law is if you want something from someone, instead of forcing them, forget it. Just use your emotion, make them feel good. And when they feel good, they could do it for you without you forcing. That's what I got from that law.
Yeah. So the Arts of Seductions by Robert Greene, same book. That's a very non-scientific book, so probably can go ahead and study that book. The Arts of Seduction. It's put together a complete movement in history, and it's the main thesis. It's to win the hearts and minds of people, or the hearts and minds of the targets, as he called it. That's the goal of life, seduction, most likely. But everything, everybody, all the things that you have, because we're not a violent society anymore. It's not a violence is controlled by the states. Because it's controlled by the states, you can exercise violence because you're gonna be in jail, you're gonna be killed. So times is different. So all you have is heart and minds of people by seducing, knowing psychology, knowing what they want, what's there, and so go to the win-win. Anyway, okay, this is the last word, and there is a person here in Paris who is waiting for me to run until the Eiffel Tower. I will send you some beautiful photo with my beautiful wife. And I'll see you, everybody, tomorrow. We'll continue to key to power of this amazing, and as Dr. C said, it's the less manipulative of them, or less aggressive. So that you have to take it for force, most of them, right? So see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for the full house today. So Candido, Henry, everybody, we should to see you tomorrow. Bye.
Blessed day.
Last day.
Blessed day.
Have a
Bye.
great day.
Bye. Bye. Where's Rosaura?
It's not here.